What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well today. Hope your Thursday has treated you well, you and your family, friends, and all. um, we are back. I am back. You are back with another live stream today to talk about all of our NBA and NCAA college basketball and football and NBA picks for today. Sorry, I'm sharing the stream out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So, quick recap. As I always say, go and follow me over on my Twitter at Vortex46 for all of my picks for each and every day, each and every game that I post. I posted most of my picks for tonight. I didn't share my two lock picks, but it's okay. I'll talk about those today for the NBA. Quick recap. I went 5-9 last night. As always, this is Pickett. Pickett. If you have an app on your phone, it's called Pickett. Pikkit. It's a free app. I'm not sponsored by them. They're not a sponsor of mine. They're not whatever. I just will continuously encourage people to get Pickett. This app follows all of your picks. They have a subscription. I'm not getting the subscription. It's a free app and it follows all your picks. As you see, I had 14 picks in total. I went 5-9 last night for both the NBA and NCAA last night, and I went 1-1 for my two log picks. And this is what it looks like to show all of your results. So, college, I had St. John's to cover the spread. It originally was 5.5. It ended up dipping up to 6.5. I ended up grabbing it too late at 6.5. So pretty much they covered that original 5.5. I'm sad about it, but it's okay. St. Joe's, though, I grabbed that minus 6.5 for them to cover that spread, that cash. As you see, they won 75-64. Utah to cover the spread at plus 9.5. That was a pick that I just said, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. But at the same time, it was kind of more unctioning towards Sacramento last night. It just really felt better to take them to cover the spread last night. But I was like, you know what, I'm just going to really bet on Utah to go out here at least lose. If they lose by under 10 points. But that didn't happen. You see, they lost by 17. In the under in the Portland Washington game, when I really looked at this, I was like, I really should take Portland on the spread, and I didn't. I'm kind of upset that I didn't. It was 6. I think it was 6. I don't think it was 6.5. I think it was 6. Minus 6. I really should have grabbed Portland on the spread. I decided to go with the under in total, and as you see, it went over the total at 250. So that is what it is. But I did cash on the one lock pick that I have for the NBA, and that was for the Detroit Pistons to go over the team total points at 109.5. For them to score 110 points, in which they not only did they win at home cover the spread at home against Boston, but they won, and they won big, basically, right? They blew them out of the water, plus 11. If you would have taken them at the plus 11 alone as a single pick, you would have cashed on that. I really didn't see Boston losing this big, getting shut down by Detroit. I just really felt good about them at least scoring 110 points last night, but they won the game. I'm proud of Detroit last night, so that cashed. The under for the team total points under in Brooklyn, I did not see Brooklyn going out here and balling last night. They decided to wake up. Cam Johnson came back last night, and as you see, they scored 121 points. But my Oklahoma City Thunder, we officially figured it out in the fourth quarter. It was more so in the fourth quarter, from what I could tell, is when we really woke up. Because most of the game we were just like we sucked. Like Brooklyn won, I think, the first quarter by like plus 11 or something. It was something, and then like I said, the whole first half it was all Brooklyn, right? And then like I guess like late third quarter, walking to the fourth, that's when we decided to really wake up. So yeah, I'll gladly take us winning. I just was just like kind of taken aback that Brooklyn decided to go out there and ball last night. So yeah, they scored over 100 points last night, so it is what it is. And then college, that was the other lock pick, by the way, the Nets team total points under that. So that was the one loss that I had for the two lock pick video from yesterday. But Notre Dame, I felt really good about them scoring 61 points last night, and as you see, they scored 63 in a loss. They lost, but looks like by 15. I considered taking Clemson on the spread, and I didn't. But I just, at the same time, really wasn't sure about this game in its totality, whether I would take the over or the under on that game. But needless to say, they at least got the 60. They scored 68 points, and I'll take that. Bellamar, so this one, I kind of thought that they were gonna at least, if they were to lose, they were gonna at least lose by under the plus 12.5. I think, if I remember correctly, I think this line moved up. I think this was the one that the line moved up to plus 14.5. But as you see, they lost by 19 last night. So yeah, it just didn't work out on the road here for that pick. But the under did hit for the Michigan State at Maryland. Felt really good. Once again, back to back. I remember I took Michigan State on the road at Michigan the last game. That was a big game. I took the under on that. I just really felt good about Michigan's defense, and I was just like, let me run it back. You know what I mean? Let me test Michigan State's defense on the road here, back to back, basically. I think they were away the last time, and I was like, let me see if they'll do it again at Maryland. And as you see, not only did the under hit, 113 when the under was 151, but from what I heard, they won off of a game-winning shot. I think it was a 3-pointer too, if I remember from what I heard. So big win on the road. That helps them, their confidence and everything. And look, I'm really gonna probably more than likely look to fade the total in the next game to come, whichever team they're gonna be playing, whether it's at home or on the road. We'll see. That's what it was. It was the Georgetown pick. I had Georgetown. I grabbed them super early. I think it was the night before, just before I went to sleep. I grabbed that plus 12.5. That's what it was. Or maybe that was the day before. But either way, that line moved. I will bring it up. The Georgetown pick that I grabbed, plus 12.5, it moved. It bumped up to 14.5. And as you see, they literally lost on the nose at they lost by 14. So that half a point, that 14.5, it cashed. I'm just like really upset that I didn't grab it at 14.5. But again, that didn't move until the 14.5 until literally like before the game. So that's that. I had a couple other NBA picks here. Niang to score 10 points. Karis LeVert, as you see, scored 17. That didn't cash. But my 10 points, I do these often. Two leg parlay for this specific NBA pick that I do often because this is more of a safer pick. One player to score 10 points, another player to get 2 threes. And I think this cashed like early, like first half or something like that. So it was more so Niang because he had 3 points throughout the game. And yeah, it just didn't work out. He decided to put up some points later on in the game, but he was really, really struggling that first half. And I kind of had that feeling that it wasn't going to cash. So, and it didn't. He finished with 7 points. So it is what it is. But with that, let's dive into our picks here. We'll start with the NBA, then we'll finalize with college. Like I stated in yesterday's stream, gonna look to go lighter because I was literally doing like 20 plus picks within 3 days. I'm gonna be pushing to do maybe like 10, maybe like 12 at max type of thing between the NBA and NCAA. Just cause yeah, I don't want to overdo it. Don't overdo it. First aid. That's from a video game, by the way. I'm a gamer. But let's get this going here. And and see what we can do. Oh, just when I'm getting ready to start talking about my picks, my laptop, as I always say, my laptop sucks. It's a cheap laptop. Had it for 5 or so years now, and it's like starting to gradually, you know. So I'm trying to work on some type of savings to get a new laptop. I'm trying. It's gonna be kind of hard. I don't know when I'll get this new laptop that I really, really want. I did put it in a queue on, to purchase. I just gotta get the specific funds that I need to be able to get this much better, much slicker, much more powerful laptop, more storage based, and all of that, to be able to continue doing what I love doing, and that is, stuff like this, live streaming on not just this YouTube channel, but the couple other ones that I have. So while we're waiting, I'm just gonna go on ahead and talk about. Okay, so maybe we'll finalize. Okay, all right, we're flowing with it. Okay, so I decided to go with, let me, I was in the middle of posting a pic on my Twitter too, and that's okay. So I ended up deciding to rely on the Orlando Magic to score some points tonight at home against the Golden State Warriors. Now, I grabbed this earlier today. The line was lower than what it is. As you see, I grabbed 101 and a half. As you see, they've hit this mark seven out of the last 10 games. 70%. They're averaging 105 over the last 10 games. In the last 5 games, they're averaging 102. But I grabbed this over on BetMGM. It's still BetMGM here, but I grabbed it at minus 135. So it dipped up, or bumped up 30 points here. As you see over here on the right, the Golden State Warriors defense is averaging 111. So I just kind of feel real comfortable with this spot. But other key thing to note, in a head-to-head matchup, I almost say Utah. Orlando is averaging 102 points. They've only gone over this 101 points against Golden State over the last 3 games one time, and that was last season, back in January 2nd of 2024. So we'll see how this specific pick works out today, but that's the first lock pick for today. Next lock pick is for a total. I decided to go with a total tonight. And that's the very next game. I'm fading the total in the Denver Nuggets heading over to Milwaukee. I'm fading this total. I was considering the spread, but I was like, because I'm really trying to really work on my spread picks for both NBA and college. I'm really putting in some work, getting a feel, because I've been wanting to take spreads more. It's just I know that I focus more, as you've seen here on the channel. I've been focusing more on player props, on team, even more so now, team total points, whether over or under. I'm getting more comfortable with taking overs now, because as I always say, I love fading teams on their team total points. I really do. Testing other their opponents' defenses and stuff, having fun with that. But I've been really wanting to test my betting picks, my style of how I do my studying of these numbers, this covering of the number, right? ATS, right? Against the spread, right? So, with this one specifically, I decided to fade the total, which it didn't budge. It's still the same. I grabbed this over on Caesars early this morning at minus 115. As you see, it's, as I always say, it's one of my favorite numbers is plus 100. I just always feel like excited because you do want to push for plus value sometimes in some of your betting picks, right? So as we look here, Denver is 4-6 over the last 10 games when covering the total. The last 5 games alone, they're 3-2. Last game against Indiana, it went under, right? So that's that one. But when we really look at Milwaukee at home, they are 4-6. 3 straight games. They're 3-2 when covering this number going under the total. So I just looked back and I said, hey, let's take a chance on, because Milwaukee's at home. Because that's sometimes that's how I style my picks too. I look at who may have the better advantage. When I'm even with college, when I say specifically like Michigan State is a really good defensive team. When you look at the last several games that they played, specifically on the road, they shut teams down on defense on the road. And of course, when they're at home, they do the same. So you would sit back and you'd be like, oh, well, when you're looking at something like this, when it's pertaining to this spot here, yes, you can consider, Denver's side versus Milwaukee's side, but then you can still want to pay attention to the head-to-head matchup. They had a road game in Milwaukee. That was last season on the 12th of February, and Milwaukee scored 112 points while they shut down Denver to 92. The total was 230. It was 11 points lower than what it is now, and they only scored 207 points at that time. Also, too, per what the inside is saying from Outliers' perspective, is that the under has hit in 12 of Milwaukee Bucks' last 17 games versus bottom 10 scoring defenses. So the key thing, the question, because we know that Denver is not a really good defensive team, we can look at Denver away and see that, yes, they may be scoring 100 plus, 120 plus points 3 out of the last 5 games, but they've also decided to play a little bit better on defense, just a smidge, right? And shut some stuff down, and the total goes under. Again, it went under 3 out of the last 5. So now we wonder, will it happen again? Will the under hit for a 4th straight time in Milwaukee? That's the question. Giannis should be playing. I overheard somebody saying that, there was, some type of situation where Giannis was kind of like, scared to play Denver. He really hadn't played them at all over the last, couple of years or whatever, but he's, questionable for tonight. Let's see. Is he in? Who's out for Denver? Nobody. Gordon is questionable. Murray's questionable. So the only one that's really out is the one that's suspended, and that's your boy Portis. But Giannis is pretty much playing. So now Giannis and Joker gets the ball out against each other. We'll really see how this goes for the night. So I'm just gonna go on ahead and fade this total and hope for the best. That's the lock pick there. Let's move on to the next ticket. Okay, so I've been missing this like 3 straight games. It's another team total under, and you're more than likely gonna know exactly which one it is. Charlotte's heading to Dallas tonight. I'm gonna go on ahead and fade Charlotte. Team total point, I got this over on FanDuel minus 104 at the time. For them, I faded them their team total point at 107.5. doesn't say specifically the what you call it, but this is it. 107.5 for them to go under their team total points. Look how beautiful that is. They're 8-2 when you decide to just basically fade them. They're 8-2. 3 straight games. They've even hit this 4 out of the last 5 games. They're averaging 98 points over the last 10 games, 97 points over the last 5. But as always, you got to look at the opponent's defense. Dallas's defense is actually allowing 113 points. In the head-to-head matchup, that's the other kicker. Charlotte is averaging 111 points on against Dallas, whether at home or on the road. They only went under this mark one time, and that was right here in the middle, back last season, back in April on the 9th of 2024, at home. But again, that was at home. The one time that they played at Dallas, they scored 118 points. Key question is LaMelo playing? It's game time decision. Seth's game time decision. This Daquan Jeffries game time decision. But also too, Dallas, of course, Anthony Davis is out. He's supposed to be reevaluated in the next couple of weeks. Likely is out. Gafford's out. So you could have maybe even considered possibly taking the under on the game. I thought about it, but I was just like, I would rather ride the wave that is the Charlotte Hornets not being able to score 100 points over the last few games, technically 5 games. So again, the total is 221.5. Now it may have been 222 earlier this morning or something like that, but I just felt more comfortable with taking Charlotte's team total points more for this pick. So that's that one. And pretty much the last pick that I have for tonight, if my laptop will work, it's supposed to be the Pelicans at Phoenix. Come on, baby, work with me. I'm almost. We're halfway there. We talked about the NBA. We got one more pick to talk about. Because I thought about doing a pick for Minnesota. I was looking at some stuff and I was like, I might just go with what I have. I literally have 1, 2. Yeah, I have 4 total picks. And I feel like that's where I'm more than likely going to stay. I know I added like 6 more picks not 6. But I had 4, and I added, I want to say 4 more for both NBA and college. So it was a total of 12. So actually it was 2 more I added 2 more picks for NBA and 2 more picks for college. So it equaled out to 12. So, no, what am I saying? It was 4 because I had 14 picks last night. Yeah, so it was 4. It was 4 more. So I just, for tonight, because only 5 games, the only real question was did I want to take Lakers spread or not? I pretty much was just like, nah, I don't know what's going on with my laptop now. It's deciding to want it to bug out. But yeah, the Minnesota, because Minnesota's sort of kind of been playing, like they're down, like Anthony Edwards may not be playing tonight. He's game time decision on something. The only thing I could really think to do is probably more than likely because he's been balling is Naz Reid. He's had like 3 straight games of literally scoring 22 points the last 3 games. I think he had a double-double like maybe once or twice. Let me double check. Still waiting on my laptop here, but let me just double check this real quick. Remember, like I've been mentioning, I'm gonna be looking to do some baseball stuff, so eventually I'm gonna be implementing baseball on the live streams and maybe possibly do a video, but don't try to hold me to, like hold my word hold like the value of my word when it's pertaining to baseball, because I'm literally, I've only won maybe roughly almost 10 specific, maybe 12, maybe 15, something like that in totality from last season. I just was losing a lot last season. I was putting picks in. I just, I would win here and there, but, I don't know. Well, no, wait, that's not it. But yeah, I'm going to try my best to put some wins together for baseball and hope for the best. But here is the ticket. The pick. Sorry, not the ticket, but the pick. This is another team total fade. I'm deciding to fade Phoenix Suns on the team total points. Got this on BetMGM at -150. This is -154 on FanDuel. As you see, same situation. They're 8-2 as well, going under their team total points. They're averaging 118 points over the last 10 games, 120 though over the last 5. They went under this number. They went over this number once. And when you look at the Pelicans' defense, they're averaging 119. So I'm taking a risk here mainly because Phoenix has been struggling to really handle business. And on the head-to-head matchup too, another main reason I was like, well, really look at it. They're averaging 119 points over the last 4 meetings against Pelicans, whether at home or on the road. They've literally hit 124 twice. They came close to it again at the beginning on the 19th of January 2024. So it's just like, yeah, this looks beautiful. I'm gonna go on ahead and fade Phoenix because they are really struggling to score 4-4. They really are. They did have a random a few nights ago, because again, this game was the game that I faded my Memphis Grizzlies team total points, and they decided to go into overtime. So I really don't see this being a high score game, but you never know. You never really know. Zion's supposed to be playing again here tonight, plus McCollum and whatever else that they have on the team, so Murphy and all. So we will see specifically how this one is gonna flow or not. I don't know, but I'm gonna go on ahead and hope that Phoenix goes out there, maybe possibly wins, and hopefully they don't score 125 points tonight at home. So we'll see what happens with that. Now let's move on to my college picks for today. Let me find. I don't think this may have been the first one. I think this one pick that I put in was like last night before I went to bed. I think I put in like 2 picks last night before I went to sleep. Like I was dozing off putting picks in. But first up for the college scene, I think I have 4, if I remember. I think I do have 4 picks in total. I decided to fade the total here in the William Mary Tribe at Townsend Tigers, because pretty much like I've explained roughly several minutes ago, is that I looked basically at the home team. I did look at the William Mary on the road when it's pertaining to fading the total, and as you see, they've gone over the make sure they've gone over the number 4 out of the last 5 games. They're actually 3-7 over the last 10 games when on the road, when playing, right? They've been pretty much scoring, and their defense has also allowed other teams to score on them as well. But again, like I said, I really looked at Townsend. I was like, maybe again, per how their defense is, maybe because their defense is only allowing 65 points, so maybe this will hit for a 4th straight game, because as you see, they've hit this mark 4 out of the last 5 games, and technically they too are 7-3 when going under the total. So we will see how this goes. And like I said, I just feel like that this could go under the total of 146 and a half. I grabbed this over on DraftKings at minus 108, and as I always say, that minus 108 is like this for me. I can never have a steady win record or losing record when it's pertaining to the minus 108. Like minus 105 and all of that stuff, I'd be cashing more than anything. It's the minus 108. It's a little bit. So I can't even remember. I think I did have a minus 108 yet last night. I have to go back and look. If I do, I'll talk about it in tomorrow's stream or something, or a video or whatever. But I can't remember. I think I did. I just can't remember if it hit. I don't know. Let me look on the Pickett here. Maybe Pickett has the thing. Let's see, minus 110. Here it is. So, yep, as you see, minus 108 is right here. The Blazers game, minus 108. As you see, it did not cash for me. So, yeah, like I mentioned, I feel like I was 2 for 2 with the minus 108. So now I'm under 500 with the minus 108. So hopefully I will get back to 500 tonight. We'll see. We will see with that pick. Next up, so South Dakota State at Oral Roberts. Let's find this game. There are a plethora of games, and I was like really kind of like looking at some stuff with the slate, with how there's stuff here, right? But the main bettors that I follow, they're just like, this slate's trash. And I'm like, I kind of agree, right? But there's always something. You can always find something here specifically. So interesting stuff. Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So I went with a spread, and I went with the home team spread because I like taking the dogs. I really like there's just something about taking the dogs. It's just so much more fun to take the dogs, whether it's a spread, whether it's a money line. It's just so much more fun, right? I haven't done a plus 200 something spread yet. I mean, money line yet, but it's coming. Don't worry, it might be tomorrow. It just might be, or this weekend. But let's look at it real quick. Let's look at South Dakota here on the road. They've struggled. This is like a beautiful thing. When you really look at this, you're like, yeah. Automatically, like, yeah, let's take, Oral Roberts on the spread. That was definitely the lean for me. Like, okay, this could work. But at the bottom there, as you see, South Dakota, it says they're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games on the road. That also played a key role in the reason why I decided to take this spread. Again, when we look at the money line, they are South Dakota State are actually favorite minus 285 to Oral Roberts plus 260. But we've seen plenty of teams over the last couple of weeks even win at a plus 200 or higher, 250 or whatever. So whether at home or on the road, either way. So for me, when I really looked at it, I was like, well, let me look at their home games. They're 4-5 out of 4-1 over the last 5 games when covering the number here, and ultimately they're 8-2 at home when covering the number. But as always, you want to look at the head-to-head matchup if there's one. And as you see, Roberts last season covered the number, which was 2.5. They won 87-82 at home, January 27th of 2024 last year. So also too, I also look at, like I said, over here per stuff, let's look at the defensive side. Oral Roberts' defense is allowing 79 points, while South Dakota State is allowing 73 points per their defense. Oral Roberts' offense is scoring 75 points, right? While here's the kicker, South Dakota State is actually averaging 81. So this is around the number, you know what I mean? It's 75 to the 81. That's literally 6 points. So Um, if say South Dakota does win this game, let's say they win by 81, and or Roberts loses by scoring 75 at home. When you look at it too, let's look at the games here real quick. Don't want to stay too long on this. No, I've talked about it enough. But Oral Roberts is literally averaging around the 75 mark, just shy of it, really. Literally the last 4 games alone, they had 74, 76 here back on the 25th of January, then 73, then 74, then 71. So they kind of like dipped down under the 75 point mark, but most of those, pretty much they're 3-1 technically. Technically they're 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. They're 3-2 over the last 5 games when winning alone at home. So yeah, but again, they're still scoring 70 plus points. So yeah, I personally feel like in a losing effort, they could still score 75 points and still hopefully cover this plus. Again, well, I forgot to mention, I grabbed the spread not at plus 6.5. I grabbed it at plus 9.5. That's why I said this is an interesting spot here, because I grabbed it at plus 9.5, and that, as you see, it dipped down to plus 6.5. So I'm feeling a bit better about my pick from last night, just being honest. Okay, next up, like I said, guys, I felt really good about, we're feeling really good about spread picks more lately, and I decided tonight I'm gonna go with more than one spread pick. So that's the first one. Let's talk about the second spread pick, because I also have another spread pick to come. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find them. I forgot to mention that Oral Roberts pick plus 9.5 is over on Bet. I got it on Bet MGM, minus 115. So as you see, it moved down to FanDuel, if I remember correctly. Where are you? As always, I'm trying to rush because the games are pretty much either starting or getting ready to start. So, okay, we're around the specific time. I just gotta find the game. I'm just hopeful that I did not pass it up. Okay, all right. So it's 8 o'clock. So it's higher up. Where are you? There we go. So, Stonehill Hawks at what is it? Fairleigh Dickerson. I decided to take another spread. I decided to go with the home team, Fairleigh, to cover the number. I got this on over on FanDuel, minus 110 for them to cover minus 2.5. They're the favorites. Just something that I was looking at. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more quicker on this one. Again, apologize for my laptop here. So both teams are in an interesting spot. So per Stonehill spot, as far as the last 5 games, they're 3-2 over the last 5 games, but they've failed to cover back-to-back these last back-to-back games here, away, while Fairleigh have covered back-to-back games. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit interesting. So Fairleigh's covered the last 2 games at home, while Stonehill has struggled to cover the last 2 games away, and they too are 3-2 over the last 5 games at home. Head-to-head matchup. Uh, uh, was it was excuse me. Excuse me. It was Fairleigh that won at home last season on January 13th. But little note there at the bottom says that Fairleigh are 2-4, 33.3% at cover the spread over the last 6 games, basically as the favorite. So that means whether they were at home or on the road. So just a little thing to note, but I just sort of just kind of felt a little bit better just with what I was looking at here specifically. When you really look at Fairleigh at home, they've, like I said, they've been more like scoring, more than 70 points, roughly. They did it 2 games out of the last 5, but they technically won 1, 2, 3 games out of the last 5. And those games that they won, they covered. So while Stonehill on the road, they've been struggling to really score. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just go with the team that is the favorite. I'm going to go on ahead and take them because, again, the away team, they're really struggling to really put up points. That's why I decided to more so go with the spread here for Fairleigh. And even over here on the far right, when you really look at it, granted, Fairleigh's defense is allowing 74 points, while Stonehill's defense is allowing 69. So it's still around that number of 2.5. But we will see what happens with this game once 7-10 or whatever gets here. So that's pretty much why I decided to go with that one, go with that spread. And next up, they're right here, real simple. And this is pretty much like the last pick. Actually, no, it's the second to last pick. I got one more pick for college. I think I have 5 picks when I'm thinking about it. So I decided to go with another spread. This number did not move. It did not budge, but I'll be gladly to take this one. So it's Maine at New Hampshire. This one didn't budge. It's plus 7.5. I got it over on FanDuel at minus 106. As you see, it dipped up and moved over to bet 365 at minus 110. Looked at it at home. New Hampshire has been getting it. Covered the spread over 4 of the last 5 games. Handling business the last 10 games. 7-3 over the last 10. While Maine on the road has struggled to really do anything over the last 10 games. They're 2-8 when it's pertaining to covering this number. Maine down at the bottom. Maine is 4-8. Another 33.3% against the spread in the last 12 games on the road. So they're really struggling. I felt like this was a no-brainer spot here to grab this plus 7.5 at home. At the same time, it's a plus 7.5. Maine is the favorite. Maine is sitting currently at a now. Originally they were under the 300. I believe it was like 285 at the time when I grabbed this. They were a minus 285 favorite, while New Hampshire was a plus, like I think they were a plus 290. I think it was something like that, around that number, maybe plus 300 or something. So I'm just going right on ahead and taking the dog to cover the spread. So basically what I'm saying is, even though Maine has an 8-21 record, they're 6-8 in the conference compared to New Hampshire's 8-21 and 6-8. Maine is 16-12 and 8-5 during the conference. I just personally was just like, I'm just gonna go on ahead and take this team that has still covered. They've even I went and checked. They've even beaten like 1 or 2 teams that were at us. They were at a favorite of minus 260, 280, something like that, over the last few games, more specifically at home where they won. So yeah, I just feel real confident about this pick. So we'll see what happens with this one. The final pick that I have is a total over. Just gotta find it. So it's in the 7 o'clock range. And here we are. So it decided to dip down. So this might be beneficial, maybe, per the pick, per the choice. Might be, maybe, possibly. I decided to take the over in the NC Wilmington heading to Campbell here. Once the laptop picks up. So I grabbed this over on BetMGM minus 105 for it to go over 141. I mean 140. 140 and a half. When we look at this, Campbell at home has been struggling to push the number over, which is, whatever the number is, right? Last 5 games alone, they're 2-3 over the last 5. And they are 3-7 to the number, pushing it over the mark over the last 10 games at home. Wow, though, this is one of the main reasons why I took it. NC Wilmington, the over has hit in 6 straight games technically, but it technically is 5-0. But they are, again, granted, currently 6-0 over the last 6 games that the over this number has hit. They're scoring points, right? But it's their defense that is giving up some points. So when we look at their stuff over here on the right, they're allowing 71 points. Their offense is scoring 80, right? Campbell's defense is allowing only 66, but their offense is scoring 71. So I decided to go on ahead and test both teams to see if they can still rev up some points tonight. Maybe Campbell has a bad defensive night tonight. And they go out here and score 70 plus points because they've gone under the 70 plus point mark over the last 2 games alone. But technically, they are 3-2 when scoring 70 plus points. Technically 75, really, to be honest. If you're really being honest, they had 96 back on the 30th, the second last day of January. 75 on the 1st of this month, and then a few days later, 76 there in a win. So that's what I'm saying. Only the last couple of games where they've gone under their total, their own, like, say, team total points or whatever. While, again, Wilmington, they're scoring 79, 70, 81, 77, and 83 over the last 5 games. So I just kind of feel like they could, like, both teams, like I said, Wilmington can score 80 plus points. And Campbell can score 70 plus points, and this will literally hit the 140 plus, maybe 145, maybe 150, and this will make it do what it do. So those are the picks, guys. If I see anything else before these games or whatever, I'll post anything else over on my Twitter account. As I always say, like I said, beginning of stream, if you feel up to it, head on over, look me up over on Twitter if my laptop is being kind to me. Oh, by the way, I did post this on Twitter. I'm upset. I really looked at this game. I looked at Presbyterian. I think they were a plus 6.5, if I remember correctly. My gut was telling me to take that spread last night, and I didn't. It was literally, I was looking at some other stuff to really take, and I was like sitting here for like a few minutes really looking. It's like, really, should I really take Presbyterian? I was like, oh, maybe not. I don't know. My gut's telling me to do it, but I just, like, you know what? I'm not even going to take a pick at all. I'm upset. As you see, Presbyterian not only won the game, but they covered the spread, 6.5. I'm upset. That was an automatic win last night for me. But yeah, go on ahead if you feel up to it. Go follow me over on Twitter and or X, however you call it. Right here, Vortex46. Go find me. Make it do it. Well, really, it's here, really. But my laptop's being rude. But I'm out. Let's see what we can do tonight. Let's see if we can get some wins tonight, some more wins, and hope for the best for these picks. And tomorrow we have, because there's 5 games NBA tonight and a plethora of games for college anyway. But tomorrow there are NBA wise 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 NBA games tonight, and tomorrow night, for the NBA, and then there's Looks like 24 games for college basketball tonight, and they literally only have like one line open right now. Riverside at Hawaii, which I'm probably going to look at. We'll see what happens. I know I did take something for Hawaii recently. I think it was their team total points. It was like a week ago or so, or something like that, and they cashed for me. So I might end up taking the team total points for them again tomorrow. We'll see. But I'm out, guys. I'll holler at y'all later. Stay safe, stay humble. Enjoy the rest of your evening and night. Let's hopefully get some wins, and I'll hopefully talk to you all with my more than likely live stream. I don't think I'm going to do a video tonight because one game starts at 7, another game starts at 7:30, and it's like I'm not really trying to go to bed at 10:30 tonight. I'm kind of trying to go to bed at like 9:30 tonight. But other than that, I will hopefully talk to you on my live stream with my picks, lock picks, all of that, or whatever, wins and losses, all of that. Let's just hope for the best for tonight, and hopefully talk to you all tomorrow. Peace, guys.